You there, Phantom?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. How you doing?
Perfect, perfect. How's your day going so far?
Good, nice and sunny, 80 degrees, my friend. I
80
love it.
degrees.
Yes. So I'm going to open up the show. Make sure you talk close to that microphone, and we're going to get down and dirty today.
Okay, sounds good, brother.
Sound fun?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Well, everybody, welcome back to the No Cover TV podcast. That's right. I'm your host, Big Al. I take the original, local, and national music and I shove it in your face every which way I can. I've been doing this since '97 from TV, from DJing, now to podcast. You're never going to get rid of me because the music and the story needs to get out there and you need to hear it. Okay, go out and check out these artists. Go to their shows, pay that cover charge, buy the swag, get their CDs or albums, and of course, the digital downloads. Check them out. Great music all around the world, all genres and age groups. It is amazing what's out there. So turn that damn radio off in the car, stick your head out that window and take a listen. A lot of great music, and it's probably even on your block. Oh, yes, indeed. We are going to take the world over. Yes, we are. We've got a really great show for you today. We're going to do something a little different. We're not going to talk much about music. We're going to talk about something personal, but I'll get with that in just a second with our guest. Now, I want to thank you for checking out all the shows. Check out the past shows, of course. A lot of great artists on the No Cover TV podcast, and check out the future shows. We're booked till June. I'm going to probably take July off, and then we're going to start back up, and we'll be booked all the way till January again. So it's great. Keep getting a hold of me, artists. It's about you and your music and your story, most of all, that I want to get in your head and find out what makes you tick and brings the music to life. The show today going to be very interesting. We're going to get a little personal here, and I like that. We're going to talk about different subjects. We're going to probably say thank you to some people out there, and that we don't do very often. All of us have somebody to thank for where we are at in our careers and stuff like that. And that's what we're going to get down to today. So let's get to my guest. And you talked to him while he was on the show last week with the recast. The lead guitar player from the recast, Phantom, is in the house. How you doing, Phantom?
Hey, how you doing, Al? I'm doing actually pretty good, man. It's been quite a week. I can definitely say that. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing very well, my friend. I'm glad that the winter has broke and summer has risen. I love it, my friend. How's it going down in Texas?
It is actually okay, except for all of these pollens and everything's blooming, so allergies are through the roof everywhere you go. But I mean, you can't beat the weather right now.
Oh, I bet. So it's like up here, everybody's sneezing and got their handkerchiefs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Yes, I'm glad it doesn't
100%.
affect me. So, like I said, you're the lead guitar player of the recast. We talked a little bit last week. It was a great time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had an amazing time.
Yeah,
And
I was.
yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I'll go ahead, Adam.
No, I was just saying, I have so much respect for your craft because having to, just talk on the spot and come up with, topics and everything, and even being on the other side, coming up with an answer that, that fits the topic and try not to make a fool of yourself. It's a lot of pressure, but you make it seem so effortless. So very much props to you, bro.
Well, I appreciate that. Back in the TV days, of course, I had to get prepared. I'd go in the bathroom, sweat it out, throw the water on my face, and get prepared to go in front of all those people on TV. But it never really bothered me. I love to be in front of the camera or just talking to people out there. I never thought I'd do this, but appreciate that. It does come now easy to do. I guess practice makes perfect, just like you and the guitar.
Yeah, definitely can say that. Yeah, a lot of practice came from there.
A lot of practice, my friend. So I opened up the show, we're doing something a little different today. You wanted to come back on the show. We wanted to talk a little bit, but most of all, I think it was you wanted to thank somebody.
Yeah, yeah. So, I realized after listening to the show last time, which I mean, it was just amazing as it was, but I realized that I didn't give somebody credit from my past and family that really deserved quite a big thank you and applause. Because
Good deal.
frankly, if you like anything that I do, from the way that I dress to the music that I listen to the autographs that I give, all of this stuff, I really have this person to thank because I really modeled myself after this person.
Well, that's wonderful. And before you thank them, before we get in that, they call you Phantom for a reason. You cover your face. Kind of reminds me of the old days with Kiss, covering their face.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get to see what you really look like, am I?
Honestly, if I can keep up this gimmick, then probably not, and that's probably for the best.
Yeah,
The message behind it is it shouldn't matter who I am or if you know me, it shouldn't matter how you feel when you hear the music.
I like that. Exactly. I'm with you there. There's another band I work with that changed their names and their looks and stuff like that. And I respect that.
Hmm. Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
So it's about you and your music, and you're one hell of a guitar player, man. You shred the shit out of that thing.
Thank you, man. I still think I'm nowhere near where I need to be. There's a lot of, techniques I can't do, but for what I can do, I try to make it sound as close to what I'm feeling as possible and try to portray that as best I can.
Sweet. Now, do you ever take the guitar and play with your teeth at all?
You know, I'd be lying if I said that I never had a moment that I tried, but no, I don't do that.
Save your teeth, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I was young. It was in the beginning of playing, and I was just like, I wonder if this actually works. You just had to do it.
You had to try it out, see if you had it in you, right? So did you ever
Yeah,
come?
and it was not.
It wasn't happening. Dennis wasn't
Uh,
happy with you. You ever try to spin the guitar, throw it around?
I did a couple times, but I don't know. I love my guitars too much to even accidentally have something like that happen. So I kind of gave up on that gimmick.
If you can't afford the guitars, I recommend not doing the spin with it.
Exactly. Yeah. And these things, I'm like, I spent too much and put too much time, effort, and love into them. And oh, God. Yeah. It hurts when they get dinged. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
you feel it. You definitely feel it. I know the pain.
100%.
Oh, I saw one back in the day. One of my 12 strings hit the ground. I was like, oh, oh, that hurts so bad.
Oh, man. Oh,
Yeah,
was that on stage?
yeah, it was on stage. It survived.
Eee.
It was like, oh shit, it really turned quiet during the moment. I think
Oh,
everybody.
yeah. I bet. I bet. And that added all that character, all the extra character into that show. I bet. I bet they loved it.
Yeah, it was me coming off the stage and kicking everybody's ass that might have laughed.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. 100%.
That's wonderful, my friend.
That's great.
So
That's great.
memories, oh boy, they stay with you, don't
Oh, they
they?
do.
So let's get to business here. All right, who we want to
All
thank? Who
right.
we want to talk about, my friend?
So, as you may recall in the last podcast, I gave a shout out to my sister and her son, my nephew,
Yes.
my mom and my dad.
Hmm.
I would like to give an honorable mention to my other niece and other nieces and nephews, great nieces, and all that kind of stuff.
Beautiful.
But the big person that deserves a lot of credit is my second sister.
Your
Um,
seconds.
yeah, so I have two older sisters, and I'm the youngest. And the other sister that didn't get mentioned, you know, she's given me a lot of support over the years, and it has always meant the world to me, for whatever she's able to provide for me in my whole entire, journey in the guitars and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just from like music, like she's the one that introduced me to rock music to begin with, because I don't know, growing up, you're always trying to, I guess, find your niche, even at a young age, you try to find your niche and, find where you belong in certain groups and everything. And it's like, I never felt like I didn't belong, but, things never really felt right,
Mm.
And then when my sister introduced me to like some of the music that she was listening to, Limp Bizkit, Corn, stuff like that, I was just
Oh,
like, oh, wow.
wow.
And it was just, I was like, I can get down to this. Like it really, a lot of that really hit me. And then it went to things like Linkin Park. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're all over the place with this, So I
Right,
was
that's
like,
a cool sister.
she really was. And like, I mean, things like scary movies, like nobody in my family really liked scary movies, even at the time, except for her.
Oh,
And I think sometimes, she didn't want to watch them alone, so she dragged me along, and I'm sitting there, having to get used to these scary movies, and then next thing you know, I love them. I can't get enough of scary movies now. Anytime I want to watch a movie, somebody asks me what you want to watch, I'm like, hey, something scary. They're like, well, we don't want to watch something scary. Well, then you choose. That's my easiest way to get somebody else to choose.
Exactly. I love that, man.
Right? She's a big influence on me.
That's wonderful. Now, you're the youngest of all of them, huh?
Yeah, I am the quote unquote baby of the family. And then,
Babe,
my niece and nephew came along, and those were like my little sister and brother. So I don't even, they don't even call me uncle anymore. It's just my name.
your name. And now, your sister turned you on to all this music and stuff, and I'm sure that inspired you to become a guitar player.
Yeah, so from her showing me different musics and different bands, genres, and artists worth of rock itself, over time, it just I just kind of like hit that gas pedal, and I was like, how far does this actually go?
Mm,
I was never one to get into like really heavy like thrash metal where you can barely hear the beat. No, like I'm a very melodic person, which is
okay.
is why a lot of my music is kind of melodic for the most part. But as far as that's concerned, that's not really what got me into playing guitar. I think I mentioned it in the last podcast. It was me playing Guitar Hero 3. And where I had gotten the guitar from, it was my mom's guitar and amp, but it was actually in my sister's room. And I had
Uh,
asked her, I was like, "Hey, are you using this? Can I?" Because she had her own acoustic guitar. So I was like, "Is it okay if I take one of these guitars and the amp?" She's like, "Go ahead. I think they work. We haven't really touched them in a while. You had to dust them off and everything." And yeah, lo and behold, they worked. And I don't know. I was like, playing guitar can't be that hard. Oh my god.
oh
Oh my
yeah,
god. It's just one of those things that you love because you don't quit.
yeah, yeah. Well, if
Yeah,
you fall in love with it, you will get it eventually. And it took me time too, and then it just happened overnight. It felt like,
yeah, yeah. Really, it's
yeah.
like you blink and years later, it's like, damn, I thought I was just playing that small guitar with that small amp.
And now you got the guitars with a big amp.
Yeah, I got guitars on the walls everywhere, just surrounded by them. Just
That's
took off.
wonderful. So, now, what year did you? When did you join the recast?
I want to say he said 2017. I have a really bad head for dates. I'll just preface this with that. I really do.
2017. Now, is
Yeah,
this
so
the first?
2017.
Go ahead.
No,
2017.
no, yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's when I first got in.
Okay. Was that the first band you jammed with?
Technically, no. I actually, I'm not trying to like plug all of this or anything like that. Maybe in the
No.
future I will, but this isn't for that. But I started playing roughly in 2007, and one of my friends in high school, they had a little brother who was trying to play bass, so me and him would link up all the time. And then fast forward a few years, I met another guy in a martial art that me and him were both taking, and I found out that he played bass, and I'm like, hey, I play guitar. We like rock music, and we're both black dudes, and we're like, oh snap! So we just, over the years we got together, and he was in the recast first, and I guess when they were looking for a guitarist, he let me know, and I tried out, and the rest is history.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. So we'll stick back on the subject. So now, big sister giving you all that
Hmm.
support. And of course, everybody else. Now, what did they think when you grabbed that guitar, your sister and your family, and started jamming?
Oh, what did everybody else think? Well,
You
it was
crazy?
a lot of noise. Yeah, it was a lot of noise, and luckily, I had a room that was a little bit farther from my parents' room in the
Okay.
house, so I was able to, get away with a little bit, more noise. So, uh, you know, things like headphones and jacks and amps, those things go a long way. So don't ever let noise be a reason that you can't, start playing the guitar. But yeah, at first it
Okay.
was a lot of noise, but I don't know, you do it long enough and you're like, okay, that didn't sound right, or it doesn't sound how I want it to sound. This is how I want it to sound, and you just get used to it, and that's basically, the ins and outs of learning how to play an instrument.
It is. It is. Now, do you remember the first song you got down when you practiced that
Hmm.
all?
I want to say. if it wasn't a song that I had already made, because I was never one for doing a bunch of covers.
Okay.
I was so interested in making my own music. If it wasn't a song that I'd already made, it would had to have been "Your Betrayal" by Bullet for My Valentine.
Really? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that was the first one that I was like, I think I did a couple of YouTube videos about that one too. It was yeah, it got pretty heavy.
I remember mine was "Smoke on the Water."
Oh, very, very good one. Very good one.
Well, I'd piss my mom off pretty good. She'd come upstairs and do her yelling and stuff, turn the damn thing off. So I just turned it up louder.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta be the rebel. Show 'em where you
Yeah.
are, man.
Oh my goodness, it was more difficult back in my day.
I
I
bet.
don't know. It was, and I'll be a little personal here. I was an only child. I didn't have a
Okay.
father, and lived with my mother and grandmother. And of course, mom had to be a mean person, unfortunately, and
Uh,
she didn't like nothing. So I was seven. What was this? 12 years old, 77. I went out and bought my first guitar, a Circle K, and an amp, and brought that home and didn't make the household too happy, but I knew what I wanted.
yeah.
But it was her fault because she bought me the Kiss album.
There you go. It's got to
And
start
that's
from somewhere.
and right then and there, when I heard that, I knew what I wanted to do in life. Yes.
For
So,
sure.
yeah, we all have our day jobs and stuff like that and careers, but on the side, we do what we love to do. And hopefully we
A
get to
hundred
that.
percent.
Hopefully we get to that point in our lifetime that we can do it full time. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the dream,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah. So I'm sure you're a career man, busy guy.
Yeah, my body will definitely attest to it. I'm
Yes,
pretty
indeed.
busy. Yeah. So I'm actually a massage therapist.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't see that. Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't see that or get that from me, but yeah, I'm actually a massage therapist, and I work. I'll say at a spa in the quarry, in case anybody wants to go try to find the Phantom.
Heck, yes, I'm going to find you, man, because I need that. I was a certified TIG welder, metal fabricator, and traveled all over the country working. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, my body is wrecked.
Dude, I can only imagine. Yeah, I can see all the positions that you had to be in all that time, and I can see all your injuries already. Ooh.
Oh yeah, carrying steel on your shoulders. I've ruined my
Mhm.
shoulders, many surgeries and stuff like that. But
Oh
no,
man.
I retired early, and I do what I love now.
Hey,
Exactly.
there it is. There's the payoff. There's the payoff.
So I'm not going to get in more depth because it's about you, not me.
Oh no, you're good, man. I like the back and forth. I dig it.
Good deal. Um, how much older is your sister we were talking about from you?
Now that's a very interesting question. She's actually 3 years older than me, and
Just three
that
years old.
actually uh, played a big part in our childhood because we grew up basically side by side, which is another reason why she was such a big influence on me.
That's
Um,
amazing.
I mean, like I did, I obviously didn't have any brothers to look up to. My dad, he was there, he worked. My mom, she was there, she worked. But as far as like growing up with any children or anything like that, it was just mostly me and my sister that I'm like right next to because we had the same friends up and down the street. We'd always be in the same little groups and all that, so we weren't ever really too far apart. And
That,
even like one of the biggest things actually was in high school when she was a senior, I was a freshman.
right.
And I never really got bullied or anything. Like, I mean, I was always, kind of overweight when I was younger and all that, but I never got like bullied for it or anything like that. But I will
No.
tell you one thing, when I got to high school and I was a freshman, she was the kind of person that everybody knew who she was. In every
Oh.
grade knew who she was. So like they always knew me as her brother. They didn't really know my name, but anytime they saw me, they're like, "Hey, you're so and so's brother." I'm like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am."
That's wonderful. She earned the respect early in high school.
Yes, it was crazy. It really was. I got respect in sports for no reason. I'm like, I couldn't play soccer to save my life, but these guys like really dig me. It
Pretty
was
cool.
kind of cool. Teachers too, man. They're like, "Oh, you're so and so's brother." I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, we love her." It's like, wow, man, she was so well known. It was insane, and yeah, she got me through my whole entire high school career.
That's awesome. Your sister works for the mafia, doesn't she?
I sometimes I think so.
Oh,
She
don't
is a
sick her on
badass.
me.
I will tell you that.
That's
No, never
beautiful.
that, never that.
I gotta know. You gotta shout out her name. Say thank you to her.
All right. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Jazz, for everything. I mean, I do apologize for not having you in that last podcast, but you alone are such a big influence on me that I felt like you did actually deserve your own podcast. And I would like to thank Al so much. You did not have to say yes to this, and I can't thank you enough for this chance to really make things right in my heart. Um, Again, you didn't have to do that, and yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to thank you enough.
Well, you're doing me a favor too because it hits home with me, and I have millions of people to thank. And it
Yeah,
just I think everybody has somebody to thank in their life, and they just don't do it because a lot of us were just caught up in what we're doing nowadays.
yeah, and
Yeah.
kind of in the
So
moment, like again, again, a huge prop to you and your craft because you asked me a lot of questions and a lot of answers permitted me to bring up other people, but there wasn't one that specifically related to this specific sister, and I just kind of felt bad for that. But again, thank you so much.
I got my notes right here. I'm actually writing down that question. Who do you want to thank that helped your career? There we
Oh
go.
yeah,
And this is your question, and always will be to everybody I interview.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that, man. That actually really means a lot.
yeah, all right, I got that on notes. It will be on every notes. It will be asked on every show from this point on. Thanks to you, finals.
Oh man, that really means a lot. Thanks, dude.
No problem. So yeah, you're
Oh
definitely
man,
gonna be tagged on every show from now on. That's great, brother. Thank you.
no problem, man. Thank you, thank you.
For now, I wanted to ask you a little music question here.
Yeah.
Do you ever want to, or plan on maybe doing something solo? Not leaving the recast, but on a little side project, doing something, solo.
Honestly, if it gets to the point to where I practice enough, like and this might be a weird answer.
Phantom, you still there? Phantom? Oh, technical difficulties, it looks like here, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
sorry, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. All right, good
Okay,
deal.
there it goes. I think my finger actually pulled down the screen.
Yeah,
So
talk.
that's a really good question. I don't plan on like leaving the recast or anything like that anytime soon.
Mhm.
But I do have to say there are a lot of guitar techniques that I really can't like fully execute, I should say. But
Okay.
if it ever came to the point to where I were to learn those, I would probably just do some things on the side because everybody has how they want their music to sound in their head.
Yeah.
And when you're in a band, everybody puts their 2 cents in, so you'll never get the exact sound that you want to hear. And everybody can attest to this.
Yeah.
So the only way to get the sound that you want is to work on it in your own time. And
True.
I've got some like drum things on electronics and all kinds of stuff. So I can do all the stuff if I wanted to. But I mean, I'm having fun just kind of perfecting the sound and the craft that I have because I mean I did kind of work a long time to kind of get the sound that y'all hear,
Yeah.
and it's one that I'm trying to perfect and get it out there to get the true expression of
Yeah.
how I'm feeling out.
Right. I like that. Now, do you have any acoustic guitars?
I have one. I have one. My nephew has one. My sister has one. My dad has two.
Hey.
Yeah,
Oh.
we all got some guitars somewhere.
Now, though, it seems like the whole family's into the music. Do you ever just do a family jam?
Not really. Only because I mean everybody is into music, but everybody just kind of our schedules are so non-permitting to be all around each other like all the time. So when we
Okay.
are around each other like that, we already basically have everything planned out. But I am gonna probably, see if I can throw that in there somehow
You
because that's
should.
definitely a good idea. Thank you for that.
I'd love to see you put that together because then you'll be back on a podcast.
Yo, real
that,
talk. Real
that would
talk.
be that would be great. Oh yeah, definitely. Now, do you write most of your songs on your electric guitar, or what you're doing?
Yes. Uh-huh, I
Okay.
do. My acoustic, I've been really, I don't know, I guess procrastinating about getting it, the proper setup that it needs to sound how I want it to sound. So I don't
Okay.
really, spend too much time on the acoustic, but I do my best to make some acoustic sounds on the amps and stuff like that. But just mimic it
Okay.
to my best
Cool.
ability.
Well, we all have our different ways. I know when I write on the acoustic and then I bring it to the electric. And of course, electric,
Hmm.
I know what I want the sound to be, whether I'm using a flange or whatever. I'm using distortion or clean. Uh,
Exactly.
but I always like to write them clean on a guitar. And when I
Okay.
grew up, it was, Kiss and Black Sabbath, all that stuff. So everybody in concert. But when I write, I actually don't tell anybody. Shh, I write ballads. Oh my God, I said it.
Really?
Yeah,
There's nothing at all wrong with that, man. Ballads are the equalizers of the rock community, and they're the bridge gappers between the rock community and all other music.
yeah.
Because rock can get so intense,
Oh,
but a ballad is like the perfect way. You can bring jazz into a ballad. You can bring any genre into a ballad and make it sound amazing. So that bridges any gaps between rock and any other genre, in my opinion. So go
uh,
ballads. I don't care what
I
anybody says. I like ballads.
like how you put that, definitely, and I like it, and then I can bring it to the electric and maybe to make it sound a little heavier if I want.
Hmm. Definitely, definitely, man. So many distortions,
Oh yeah,
just distortions out there alone. Just yeah.
yeah. Now, how many pedals you using when you're on stage?
When I'm on stage, let's see. I've got a metal muff. I've got a reverb that Mondo just got me. It makes you sound like you're like in an entire like concert hall. It's very
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Um, I've got I guess another kind of a chorus pedal, and then I have uh, it's a looper pedal slash tuner. Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay.
Yep, yep, that's it. That's all I use. I've never been much for pedals. And here's the story for you, man. When I
Uh,
first joined this band, I wanted to use a small little amp that I had. My little small amp's got all my tunings on it. It was fine. I could press a button and I'm there.
oh,
And they gave me like an entire stack, a head, and a whole pedal board. And I'm like, yo, what's happening here? Like, I just got here. Like, I don't need to use all this. I got my stuff right here. They're like, no, 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 just use this. And I will tell you, man, they drug me kicking and screaming that whole entire way. But I finally got used to it. I finally got used to it. Man,
that's,
it has been a journey with these amps. I'll tell you that much.
they all have their different qualities. Of course, I like the tube amps myself. To get that
Yeah,
warm,
yeah.
fuzzy feel. And then sometimes you pick up a radio station here and there. It's all good. Yeah. Now, in my band, I didn't have a bass player, so I had to cover that. So I would use a Fender bass amp and had
Oh wow.
more deeper on the end tones. So,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's very innovative. You gotta fill in the
Uh,
dead space where you can.
yeah, well, the 80s were something else, I tell you. And I'm not going into any stories. I think I
100%.
told you some of them actually on the last show.
I think you did. Yes, you did.
Oh man, memories. Damn Judas
Right,
Priest.
man. Yeah, yeah. That whole story. I was like, ooh. And you lived through that, man. You have that story to tell people.
Yeah. And sometimes I wonder how I made it out of the 80s. Because I wouldn't say I was naive, but I was a little stupid. And I liked to party back then. So I think we all did.
Apparently, it was the time. It sounded like it was the time. I was born in 1990, so I mean, I missed it by a few years, but I
Right.
mean, it sounds like it was a hell of a time.
It was a hell of a time. And I know at the age of 22, I stopped drinking because I did too much of it when I was younger.
At the age of
Which,
22, you stopped. There's a
yeah,
brag right there.
so any children out there, don't listen to this.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't follow
for
my
real.
footsteps, okay?
Or at least greatly reevaluate your values if you feel like you want to
Exactly.
follow these footsteps.
Yeah. If you got the coolness, maybe you can do it.
There you go. There you go.
Oh my goodness, man. We're having a good time here. I think we went way off the subject, brother.
We
We're
are. We are.
talking,
It's okay
we're
though.
talking about family, we're talking about jazz and stuff like that.
Talking about history, man. Talking about
It,
how we got to where we are. I think it's all conducive.
it is. Like you said, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for those days.
100%. Telling you.
Yes,
For the
indeed.
most part.
Oh, my friend, my friend. So, again, we want to thank your sister for being there,
Yeah.
supporting you, and all your family. Sounds like mom and dad
Yes.
rock, man.
They do. They actually really do. Actually, I want to give a shout out to all of the Aries birthdays in my family also, which includes my sister and her husband, which all were in April, and my dad, whose was yesterday,
Oh, really? Happy birthday,
and my
Dad.
grandniece. Yeah, yeah.
And your
It's
grand.
just so many birthdays happening.
Just sing happy birthday to Dad.
We're gonna do that after this podcast. We got to go back
Beautiful.
over. There was so much stuff happening yesterday. He didn't even get to open his gift, so we're gonna go back over. Gonna have all the chill time this time.
That's great. But you know, your mother and father and your sister's very proud of you of what you've accomplished.
Yeah, they've definitely proven that. All
Yeah,
of them.
they are. They
Every
are.
single one of them.
And I know that Phantom, you give back what you receive.
I try. I definitely do.
Yeah. We all
Like I
try
said in
to
the
do
last one,
that.
you gotta stay humble. You gotta, remember where you came from. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's better than anybody.
Exactly. And if you think you're better, then I'm going to come around and kick your ass.
For
And you're
real. For real. Listen to
not.
my music and you'll know that you're not.
Exactly.
Not saying I'm
Exactly.
better than you, but there's so many messages in the music, and you probably want to add your own stuff.
True. True.
All kinds of stuff.
So, I mean, the recast, I love the show. Great music, guys. And I wish the best for all of you to keep rocking out Texas. And I hope you get abroad and maybe someday, well, I've got family down there. I'll get down there and I'll look you up. Most
Oh,
definitely.
definitely. Yeah, our
Uh,
next show is actually in San Marcos on the
oh,
27th. Yeah, so we're
beautiful.
we're actually not going to be in San Antonio. So yeah, we're all over the place in Texas.
Good deal, man. I will definitely look you up. We will hang out and have a beer or whatever we want to do.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and some shots.
And some shit. Bring back those days again. Don't do it,
I'm
fam.
telling you, just for one night, man. Just let me thank you. Yes,
No problem. I'll let you do that. And you might have to carry me out
sir.
of the bar.
Okay, man. I'll be your Uber. I got you.
There we go. Be my Uber. Oh, I love it, brother. I love it. Phantom, I'm glad we did this today.
Me too, man. And again, I
Yeah.
can't I can't thank you enough for this opportunity to do this. And yeah, it's so much appreciated. Like
Well,
major shout outs to you.
I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate you getting a hold of me and us doing this. I definitely set aside some time to do this because it means a lot to me.
Yes,
And
sir. And yeah, you didn't even have to agree to it, let alone make it so soon. And you just completely blew my mind with your response.
good deal. I'm always here for it. And you got my number if you need to contact me for anything.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
100%. Thank you.
So we're dedicating this show to jazz.
Yes, we
Yes.
are.
And of course, the rest of the family that have always been there for you, too.
They've always been. Yeah.
So
Every single one of them.
definitely. So big shout out to you, Phantom, for rocking and kicking butt in the industry. And big shout out to Jazz, mom and dad, your nephew, nieces, and your other sisters.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Big shout out right back at you.
I appreciate it, my friend. And yeah, I can't wait till we meet, my brother.
I can't either, man. I'm counting the days down at this point.
Like I told you in the last interview, you see this big bald guy heading up the stage. I will jump on and join you.
Please do, man. Again, like I said, I'll hand you the guitar. I want to hear something.
Oh, brother. Well, I might cause a little trouble.
Okay. Cause
It's,
trouble, man. Cause
okay.
it. That's the more memorable, the better.
That's right. The more memorable, the better. I hope somebody has bail for us.
It's okay. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Good deal. All right, Phantom, we're going to wrap this up. Appreciate everybody
Hmm.
out podcast land taking a listen because this is a personal episode that I love, and I love to do more of these. So we will talk to other people. And of course, remember, August is our mental health month that we talk to artists and just regular people because the mental health problem goes within the music community and just in life general. I want you to know there's always somebody out there to talk to you, and believe me, it will be okay. Yeah, so
100%.
definitely. So, fam, we're gonna get out of here. What's your last thoughts, words of the night?
My last thoughts are never forget how you got to where you are. Every person who you've ever come into contact with, even if it's been good or bad, has molded you in some way to be the person that you are. So be proud of who you are and thank those people in your past.
Good. I couldn't say it any better. Thank you, Phantom. Thank you, everybody on Podcast Land, for checking this out. And a big shout out to Jazz. This is all about you and thanking you, and of course, the rest of the family. And thank you, Phantom. And I will get this show on the platforms, and I'll send you the link, my friend.
Thank you so much, Al, and thank you so much, Jazz. I'll talk to you soon, my brother.
I'll talk to you soon. All right, everybody. It's Big Al and Phantom. We're out of here. Peace. Talk to you soon, brother.
Talk to you soon.
Peace.